Welcome back to episode 2 of the Get You Some podcast.
That's right, guys. It's your favorite rednecks, Hank and Stank here. We got some pretty cool topics to go over today, and check it out. First thing I'd like to talk to you about.
I can't wait.
New Year's resolutions. What do you think of people that have, that make up New Year's resolutions? Are they going to stick by them? Or is that just like a sense of security for someone to say, well, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that? And it makes them feel good going into that new year. Like, do you really think it's going to make a difference? Or are they just going to have the same shitty fucking year they've had for...
Well, the way I look at it is if you're, 20 years old and older, and you're still making New Year's resolutions, and you still haven't done it in the first 20 years of your life, you're not going to do it in the next 20 years of your life. You're wasting your time. So do what I do. I know that I'm going to make a New Year's resolution. I know I'm not going to keep it. So, like, if I say, I'm going to eat healthy January 1st, starting December 30th, I'll eat like an absolute hog, saying, I got 30 days left to eat like shit until, January 1st. And then when January 1st comes, I keep going.
So you're talking like straight just toxic fucking eat garbage, rock gut for 30 days, eat enough junk food to last you all of, like, 2025. Do that all in 30 days?
Yeah, the whole rest of the year.
And then really you're only going to eat healthy for a week.
Yeah, and then you quit, and then you get right back to it. It's real simple.
So you just roll into fucking Sheets in the morning and grab a meatball sub and an app sampler and just douse it in ranch and hot sauce. And
3 times a day.
And it's healthy. 3 times a day. I mean, I like it. If I could afford that, I probably would do the same.
Well, that's why when people, if you go to the gyms come New Year's, and, you see they're all crowded and everybody's just in the way, not knowing what the hell they're doing, go back to the same gym 2 months later, and you're going to see about 10% of the same people that were there. It's a waste of time. Stop making New Year's resolutions. You're not going to keep them.
Yeah, but the people... I'll tell you what. This is a really good idea here. What if we had Hank and Stank's gym? And our membership fee could pretty much be like deer meat, elk meat, fucking shit, and... Well, they would take some people's money. I'm sure some people in the city would come up there, but they could, like, drag deer, flip tractor tires. You could do all this blue-collar stuff. And, I bet a lot of people would fucking do it.
I would do it.
And they'll sign up for 1 month, and then we'll just like double or triple charge every month after that. Because they're not going to do it, and they're not going to cancel.
Yeah, and we're going to be one of those companies that makes it so hard to cancel. Like, you got to call, you got to go to the MVA, you got to sit there for 3 hours, talk to somebody, and then you finally get a hold of us, and we're probably not going to answer, and you get double charged every month.
I mean, if that was what we did, I would probably put, someone from the Middle East in charge of all my people that want to delete. And then you can't understand them, you get so fucking frustrated, you might as well cancel your card at that rate,
Yeah, and then, we got the people sitting there, on the phone where it's like, press 1 for English, and then they hit it, and it's like, thank you for calling AT&T.
I fucking hate that so much. That pisses me off.
It's like, I pressed 1, you motherfucker.
I did press 1. I did not press 3, okay?
I did not press 9/11.
Oh my God, you went there. Fuck.
And it was nice meeting you guys. We're canceled.
But we'll be back.
I meant 7-Eleven.
All right. So to get back into the thing. So you're thinking New Year's resolutions are bullshit?
It's fraud.
And it's pretty much fraud to yourself.
You should be arrested if you make a New Year's resolution.
So basically, if any of you made a New Year's resolution, you should probably just go with the deer leg.
You should be arrested.
You should probably just go turn yourself in like tomorrow. That's what Hank's saying.
Yeah, because if not, I'm coming for you. Physically and metaphorically.
I was waiting on it. See, I'm not really like a New Year's resolutionist kind of guy. I did make one this year, though.
What's that?
I'm going to start drinking more water.
What kind of water?
Fucking dad water.
He's drinking more dad water.
More dad waters, baby. And that's my New Year's resolution, and I really don't think I'm going to let myself down. So to prove you wrong, that's my resolution. I've made it for myself, and I'm sticking to it.
I think that's one resolution that you'll probably keep.
It's not probably. I'm going to keep it.
So for those of you guys who haven't tried Dad Water, they are the alcoholic beverage sponsor of the Get You Some podcast. And they are, they got some really good stuff. It is tequila-based water. And there is 0 carbonation, 0 carbs, 0 sugar. Basically, it's healthy. And while you're drinking, what do?
You hydrate.
You hydrate.
And we love it.
So guess what? When you wake up in the morning from drinking, 30, 40 dab waters, you're also hydrating yourself while you're doing it.
Oh, not everybody's my calorie drinking.
10 to 15 dab waters. And it's like, you're not going to be hungover in the morning. They got Tom, they got Steve, they got Rodney, and they got Gary.
That's right.
It's regular lime, then there's the grapefruit.
And the grapefruit's probably my favorite.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That grapefruit is...
I don't mind the blood orange either, though. That blood orange is pretty solid.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't found one I don't like. I like them all. If you guys haven't tried them, get on there, go find a store locator, get you some, and give them a try.
Yeah, and the one that I really don't mind of them, that I didn't think I was going to, the pineapple jalapeno.
That was different.
It's a different flavor, but it is real good. So y'all know what to do. Get you some. So I want to start this next segment off. I'd like to know, personally...
They're not segments.
I'd like to start the next segment off. I would personally like to know, when you see a female that's pregnant, okay? You can tell, obviously, she's got the big bump and everything. Now, don't go up no fat girl and start rubbing her belly. Make sure you know she's pregnant, because they'll freak out.
Oh, my God. Have you ever did that?
7 times.
Fuck. That's why you've had 7 broken noses.
But anyway, so when I see a pregnant woman, it really triggers me. It really grinds my gears when they go up to the woman and they're like, oh, rubbing her belly, and they're like, oh, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. Why does nobody come up to your nutsack and rub it and say, oh, good job, fella. Well, you did all this. The only person that gets the praise is the woman's belly, but not your nuz.
Even the shaft should get some kind of
acknowledgement. Exactly.
Even just like a little tap to the crotch. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it there. As men, you're not going to get any credit for any of the work you did. You're
absolutely not.
You're just not. Okay, it's all up to the woman, and I think that's where they look at it. They're the ones carrying the child. And maybe they're just rubbing that belly because that's where the baby is, and that's it. But they don't care about where it came from.
No, exactly. I mean,
you rub me too hard, I might fucking explode.
You're gonna have another baby.
Right. So it could be like a contagious. Maybe some people are just freaked out about maybe like getting pregnant by rubbing the balls, or maybe you like it too much, or they like to feel them small puppies. Who knows?
I got a hot take for you.
You got a what?
I got a hot take for you.
I thought you said a hot cake.
It's going to cause a lot of controversy, but I got a hot. You're going to be saying take. I got a hot take for you. So, I believe fully that when a baby is born, it is the male's. It ain't even the female's baby; it's the male's. You know why? Let me give you an analogy, because you look confused. It's 100% the male's, because when you put money into a Pepsi machine and the Pepsi comes out, is that Pepsi yours? Or is it the machines?
It's probably the Pepsi companies. Until you actually hold it.
So the government owns all the babies then?
Pretty much. I don't think you own anything.
Was that not a good analogy?
It's a good analogy. I get it. I mean, but they make it so hard for you to give it away, too. I mean, so like, okay, let me look at this. Like, okay, all right, I'm 2 Pepsi machines. I'm one, and my wife could be the other one. Well, I'm the guy that loads the Pepsis. I'll put it to you that
You're
way.
buying the Pepsis. You're putting the money in.
Right. But I don't get all the money that goes into it.
You're end up paying money, really.
I think you do. You end up further in the hole with that.
Literally.
Like going further in the hole is a lot of fun most times. But it's still the Pepsi company's thing.
But it's your Pepsi. You can do with it what you want.
I guess it's technically anybody's fucking Pepsi until it's in your belly.
You want to smash it off a rock? You can. That's you want to drink it? You can. You want to smack the shit out of it when it does wrong? You can. That's the great thing about having a Pepsi.
Yeah, but like if I'm going to grab my Pepsi out of the machine and someone comes up and steals it, I got no proof that I even bought that fucking Pepsi. There's nothing tying you to it. Like, so like babies, you got paper, written shit, you got birth certificates and all that. See, now we're getting too legal for them, don't it?
It ain't that deep. I don't know when we got into this.
Deep. I go deep on everything, okay? Well, we went from babies and then we went to Pepsi machines. I'm going to go back to like the insertion part of this thing.
Yeah, you put the money in, you get the Pepsi. Like a kid. You put your kid in, you get a kid out. It's not the Pepsi machine's Pepsi. It's your Pepsi. You put it in, it's yours.
So you still think that baby is the male's baby when it comes out?
Yes.
No matter what.
It's my Pepsi. And yes, this is a joke for all of you snowflakes out there.
They're all going to be flaking and chipping
Pete.
like fucking bad paint. I'm telling you. All right, it brings me up to the next one. Okay, it can be your fucking Pepsi unless I come take it. Then it's my fucking Pepsi.
Yeah. But you might get shot while trying to take my Pepsi.
But then what if nobody buys Pepsi? It's still the Pepsi machine's Pepsi.
I've never seen a woman who never had sex have a baby.
Oh. Some of them claim they
lethal
have.
injection. Or not lethal injection.
Hey.
What's the fuck?
So, you did say a woman that never had sex, didn't have a baby. They go get injected all the time. Or, is there any, like... We're going to jump across here.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take us back and forth.
Going across the pond.
Yeah, the little pond. Maybe go back to the medium pond later. So you go to the whole thing like where you got to have sex to have a baby. What about like some animals and stuff that like don't have to have sex when they got like both reproductive things in them and they can just have as many babies as they want? Like, so
that's deep.
I go deep. Old Stanky goes deep all the time. Okay, I'd like to go deep a little bit more.
Yeah, so like dogs when they have 8 or 9 eggs that hatch and the dogs come out and you got to wait 8 weeks or whatever to take them home. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly. But some dogs
need
a male dog with a female dog.
Yeah, you do need that to have the
not,
eggs.
Then the eggs are not.
And then you got to incubate the eggs.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I don't even know any other creatures where you can have no male, no female reproductive anything and still have a litter of eggs.
There's tons of them out there.
Like what?
Like if you just start searching them, fish, Mexicans. I mean.
Yeah, I guess that's right. They get hatched.
For some reason, they don't need the male. It just like happens, and it happens.
Yeah, and it's always in like groups of 20 or 30, and they all work hard.
So like the reproductive anatomy of those two different species is pretty wild.
I've seen it to where you can cough too hard and have a couple Mexicans.
I mean, really, everything's like bing, 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 and they just pop right out like shit. It's like your Pepsi's out of the machine.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so it's it's a hard thing. That's why it's so outnumbered. You know.
Again, for you snowflakes, it's a joke. Get over it.
Yeah. It's not. It's real life. It's my thoughts and my beliefs. Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, the other day, you know what I seen the other day? I seen this old...
Maybe I don't want to know.
You might not want to know.
All right, let me know.
I seen this old lady. She was at Dick's Sporting Goods. And she was trying to get all the stuff out of her car, and she was filling... I guarantee she spent probably $6 or $7 grand at Dick's. Like, her carts were full.
So she emptied the bank account on Dick's.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, all right.
So she was loaded up.
My kind of woman.
And, as I was walking by, it really pissed me off that nobody would stop and help her.
Right.
So then I continued to go into the store, and that just bothered me all day.
So, it never once crossed your mind to maybe... tell the boy that was walking out with his mom, like, why don't you go help that fucking old lady and be respectful?
Yeah, I don't know how many. So you wouldn't believe how many people just let her do it, and nobody stopped to help her. So as I was passing her, I was like disgusted, and I just I went in the store, and the rest of the day that stayed with me.
I've been there before.
Dude, I was so pissed I could have drowned a fish.
I mean, I'm sitting there watching all these people walk right past her, and I'm like, how you really got better shit to go do and like not help this old lady?
Yeah, it bothered me.
I just continued going back to the hunting section now.
I thought I'd seen you out there.
Shit to do.
Yeah, and I was, as I passed right by her struggling, I was like, why is nobody helping her?
It is bullshit. That's the world we live in.
It's disgusting.
These people that are walking through the parking lot to go into the store, none of them want to stop and help anybody coming out of it.
No. It's horrible.
And it is aggravating.
I almost had to stop and help. That's how disgusted I was. But
see, I've never been there.
I continued to keep going.
I've been so disgusted, it just made me walk faster. Like to get away from that fucking catastrophe getting ready to happen. I'm not packing $5 or $6 grand worth of shit into an old Windstar.
Yeah, no,
that probably can't even carry it.
Hell, she might have stole it.
I mean, who the hell knows?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It really is, though. But that's the world we live in. Nobody really wants to stop and help, and it's bullshit.
It's a shame.
It really is. I try to help out anytime I can.
Yeah.
If I see someone that needs help, I'm going to help.
Oh, definitely. I'm probably not.
I'm going to help.
I'm probably not.
But I got to help myself first, so I'm going to keep going to the hunting section. And when I come back out to the parking lot, if she's out there duct taping shit to the top of her van.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk faster. And go.
I'm probably not gonna help, but it's just disgusting how none of you guys will either. That really pissed me off. Really, really got to me.
You're going deep now.
Yeah, I go deep in everything I do.
That thing right to the balls.
It just pissed me off. It's like, how can you see
Sunk it.
this little old lady and just not help her? It just
No, I understand. I'm on your side for this whole thing.
Yeah, it was disgusting. You guys are animals, you're monsters, and you are disgusting.
I mean, it was like that one time when you and me went to Walmart, and that one guy was in his little wheelchair thing, and he didn't make it to the little ramp deal.
Yeah, and then we stuck the fucking stick through his spokes.
Yeah, we picked him up, carried him in, but then he flipped.
Yeah,
and then we had to run.
And then nobody picked him up.
No,
We came back 3 days later. He had ants and rats eating him and shit,
bad.
and nobody
It was
picked
bad.
him up.
We did not think about like rotation. You know, you stick the rod through there, and it's gonna be like an axle with tires.
Yeah, we even put playing cards in his spoke, so it sounded like he was starting an engine.
Kind of looked like a circus monkey there for a minute. I laughed and then I ran. I was gone. They got that shit on camera too, boy. I'll tell you what. I'm glad we didn't have some get you some hoodies on.
Yeah, where'd our picture go? We lost our picture.
We lost our picture. It's black.
Black.
Whatever.
Great.
Awesome. So then, you did sink that to the balls on that last topic.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
deep.
you took that thing deep, and I can feel like
So
you're
deep.
still like emotionally kind
Yeah,
of
I'm furious.
furious about this whole situation. I want to get back to sinking it to the balls. You know,
Okay.
before, like, have you ever like sunk it deep and just fucking got going, and like when you were done, everything's kind of just fucking fuzzy, and you're like light on your legs, they're a little shaky, a little wobbly, you know, after you just busted a big one, like. What, has that ever happened to you?
You talking about post-nut clarity?
Yeah, I guess you'd call it that.
So the way that I handle post-nut clarity is, of course, after, you just feel disgusting. So what I do is, like, that disgusting feeling comes over you and you're like, oh, man, what did I just do? So what I do is I usually close my dad's yearbook and just go back to work.
And you're hoping the one with the perm that you're jerking it to, Uncle Bill don't show up with next year at Christmas time.
Let me tell you something about Uncle
Get a
Bill.
little weird with it.
So me and Uncle Bill went on a camping trip. And you know Uncle Bill, right?
Yeah.
So me and Uncle Bill went on a camping trip, and everything was good. He was being extra friendly, and I was like 8 at the time, and
Don't go deep again.
no, I'm going all in.
Oh my God.
So I was like 8 at the time, and when I woke up in the morning, my ass was hurting, and when I wiped it, it was bleeding a little bit, and I was like, man, what the hell? And then come to find out, I never seen Uncle Bill again. He was gone. Turns out he wasn't even my uncle. And it was like 3 years later, I found out that he had got out of jail, and I have no idea who this guy was. And we always knew him as Uncle Bill.
I thought that was your Uncle Bill.
No, it was not my Uncle Bill. It turned out he was never my uncle. And his name wasn't even Bill.
How'd you meet this guy?
I ain't sure.
This guy.
You told me it was Uncle Bill.
I thought it was your uncle.
And speaking of pain in the ass, I got a deep story for you. So y'all lock in here. Here we go.
It's going to get bad.
I was 18 at the time, and we were messing around with anal beads. I did not know that anal beads had to be pulled out slowly. Dude, I was in there. I was like starting a chainsaw, dude. I was like.
That thing's so fucking hard. The lips were fucking.
Every time I So for those of you youngins out there, if you play around with the beads, take her slow.
Bring plenty of WD-40.
You do not want to jumpstart that big.
You want to fucking lube them things up.
Yeah, take your time. It was like there was
bit.
spraying shit everywhere, and oh my god, you had to duck, hit the walls, cover.
Hey man, you talking about all that shit, man? It does like, it takes me back to a time, long time ago, man. Like, you ever jerk off with Colgate?
No, I'm straight. I don't know who Cole is.
No, Colgate. Like,
Yeah, Cole Gates. I have no idea who he is. I'm
no,
straight.
Bill don't even have a son. I'm not talking about Colgates.
What are you
I
talking
don't even know
about?
if there is a Colgate. I'm
talking about
like
toothpaste?
Colgate. Yeah, fuck yeah, minty fresh.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? You ever beat off with
Obviously, I do.
to Colgate?
Yeah, Colgate. You ever beat off with Colgate? You know,
I bet that's
like,
a cool sensation feeling.
That's one word. It doesn't have a space in between. It's
Colgate.
not like it's a name, man. Colgate. Colgate. And no, they're not sponsored.
So
If
what's
they want to be, hit
what's
us
the
up.
props of that? Like what's the purpose?
Well, I would tell you, my uncle was like
Uncle
man,
Bill?
This was not Uncle Bill. This was actually my uncle. Actually, I don't know. I guess he's my uncle. Could be my dad. Who the fuck knows anymore?
Yeah, brother, sister, bunkle, uncle.
He was like, man, you wanna get a good nut off? Like, you go home and you jerk off with Colgate. or I guess for any circumstance, use any fucking toothpaste you want. But
Crest.
Yeah, and I mean, you could use Arm & Hammer because that's what I was kind of in the mix of was Arm & Hammer and Colgate, you know.
Oh man, I'll give you an Arm and a Hammer.
I was young too, man. That's what I'm saying. I was in the middle of it, man. And he's like, man, come try that. So I was young as hell, man. I went home, I squirted a little bit of that shit in my hand and fucking went to town. And it was like super glue. Like the friction on that shit is like gritty.
Man.
Fucking, like almost like you took Gorilla Glue and sand and made a concoction. And
you could start a fire with that thing.
And then I got a little bit in my dick hole. And you want to talk about fucking set the world on fire, boy. That was the...
I bet that was a pretty neat sensation, though.
Oh, it was neat until it wasn't. Like, it was neat until it got down in there, and I was like, oh, I'm fucking dying. I can't get it out. Tried to piss 100 times. It hurt like hell. Some of them things just
Is that why Uncle Chuckle's mother's breath smelled so good?
Somebody had to clean it off, but...
I was wondering why she smelled like Colgate.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I had to try it, man, and I tried it several times after, and it just wasn't... It's not the same.
Yeah.
And it just don't work. I do not recommend anybody try that.
I feel like that's like... You know, like cocaine. You want to do it once, and then once the the high's over, the burn's done, you just leave it alone.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't. That just sounds uncomfortable.
And some people do. It's like, I get it, I understand it, but
that just sounds uncomfortable.
Some people love it.
Did you hear about the? Not to change subjects on you here, but that's
exactly what
eerie feeling.
That's exactly what you meant to do.
Did you hear about the Temu warehouse that burned down?
I don't think so.
I think it was in Georgia, I think.
No, I did not.
But yeah, the Temu warehouse burned down. They did an interview on it, and it said they lost tens of dollars.
No shit. I bet they fucking did. A whole warehouse went down. They lost.
Yeah, it had to have been like $38.25. That'll get you 10 years of supply on Temu.
I guarantee it will.
That's crazy.
$10. Yeah, to me, that's kind of a weird one for me, too. Like, you want to buy some decent shit, you never really know what you're going to get. It can look good in that picture, but when you get it, man, it's almost like going to get a fucking used car off Marketplace somewhere or something. They take a picture of one that ain't even the real car and put it on there, so when you show up, it looks like it just got ran through a demolition derby at Monster Jam and stuff. Like, and they... Oh, if you can wait 3 weeks, we'll give you this thing for like $70 off. You know, they had a good marketing strategy on that because they're making dollars at a time, and people are just on there gobbling that shit up.
Yeah, them little Chinese babies over there pushing shit out.
Oh, I'm telling you.
It's bad.
I'm telling you. Oh, that's all about change. To me, it's going to have to up their rates by at least fucking 6%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to cost you lots of cents.
You might be able to get a full brand new F-150 on there. You might, instead of paying, $7, you might be at $10, $15.
You might be, and
they're going to lose my business at that point.
I mean, we're talking like 16th scale too. Like,
yeah, you're going to lose my business at that point.
I can't pay that kind of money for something like
that.
No,
I'll just go to a dealership and get a brand new one for $45,000. I'm not
right.
I'm not paying your $7 upcharge.
I don't have to get the $7 shipping.
No, I'm not paying that.
I'll spend the $3.50 in gas.
Yeah, I go out and get it.
You know,
that's all there is to it.
I'll spend $3.50 going there, and I'll spend $3.50 coming back.
Yes,
that's where I'm at on it.
I got no interest in Temu if they're going to bump their prices. That's just not my style.
No, it's not my style either. You know, I think everybody's gonna be bumping prices here, but
bumping fuzz.
It is what it is.
All right, now I got a question for you.
Well, I guess I got an answer for it. If I don't, I will.
Who is the most attractive male you've ever met? Not even you've ever met, that you've ever seen. No homo, of course.
Okay.
Who is the most attractive male?
Man, you gotta put me on the spot with that shit.
I know my answer.
Well, of course, because you always looking at males trying to figure out like who's the most attractive.
No, this one, he caught me right off.
You had fucking
swipe me off my feet.
Man, I'm still like trying to initiate into this and like still think about it. I've never been sidetracked quite that hard.
Oh yeah, you got to bring it up. The podcast wants to hear it.
Man, that is. Fuck. Why would you ask me that?
Because we got to know. To Get You Some podcast is all about making uncomfortable situations.
It is, and I'm not uncomfortable. It's just I really got to put some thought process into this, and it's not someone that I had to meet.
Well, this is supposed to be the first one that comes to your mind. There's no thought process. When you think of attractive males, who's the first one that comes to your head?
myself.
That's not yourself.
But you didn't say that.
It's obvious. You can't say
did
yourself.
Not fucking say that.
Okay, well now you know it can't be yourself.
There's no part of me in that question when you asked it. Like, there was no first fucking nothing that popped up for a minute. If you just said like female, I'd have probably been like fucking Angelina Jolie all day long because the fuck doesn't like Angelina Jolie.
You want me to give my answer first?
Yeah.
All right. So the most attractive male, and I mean this in the most homosexual.
You have got me
possible.
so flustered right now.
And so you know how people say like no homo? I mean this in all the homo. Theo Vaughn. Dude, he is a doll baby. And Theo, if you're seeing this, you are, and I mean this in all the homo, the most attractive male I've ever seen.
Now, when we send the invite for you to come on the podcast or us to go to your podcast, just know there's going to be no, not for me anyway.
No
I'll
homo
cuff him
with
or put him in a
Theo.
straitjacket, or I mean, whatever in the hell I've got to do to make that work. But I do have an answer for your question.
All right, who you got?
And I don't know his name.
That's sad.
But I do know, he plays in Sweet Home Alabama. And he did play in Yellowstone as the old-time, like, John Dutton. I would have to say that dude right there...
John Dutton?
Not Kevin Costner.
Not
Kevin Costner. And I kind of feel like, why the fuck are two dudes even sitting here talking about this?
I don't know.
It's not Kevin Costner. It's the guy that played before Kevin Costner, like him as a younger person. And this dude played in Sweet Home Alabama. I gotta say, he probably is like probably one of the most attractive dudes I've ever met.
Yeah, I've never seen him.
Do I need to look it up so I got a name?
Yeah, you might as well check it out.
I like to leave this stuff unknown.
Yeah, now I'm dying.
If I know his name, I might go get like a fucking tattooed on my chest or something. That way, if I ever see him, I can like. Could you imagine?
Oh my God.
Could you imagine like being a dude? All right, like put yourself in this situation, right? All right, look, I've seen this shit firsthand. Now. Like you're a dude, whatever. And then somebody walks up and they pull their chest pack out, and they got your name fucking tatted up there. Like, I don't even know how I would take that.
That's just wrong, dude.
I don't know how I would take that.
That is just wrong.
I would feel, I don't know, like it'd be pretty cool, but it would be like I'd go to bed that night thinking like that dude got my name tatted on.
Yeah, right. And then you gotta like explain that to your future
kids,
girlfriends
man,
and kids. Oh, Daddy, why do you have a guy's name tattooed on your chest? Oh, well, son. Actually, I guess if you got that, it'd be more like, well, son.
It might be more like that. All right, there it is.
Who you got?
And it's his fucking hair that gets me. Josh Lucas.
Josh Lucas. Never heard of that. Sounds gay.
Josh Lucas. That's it. That's who I'm talking about. He's a fucking real attractive dude.
Let's change the conversation. Theo Vaughn, call me.
We change fuck conversation. All right, but is it like natural for, like when you're watching a movie? Oh, I'm fucking up a bunch of shit. When you're watching a movie or something, you see like another actor on there and they're a male. Is it okay to be like, that's a fucking attractive looking guy, right? Or like the way they got their hair done or something, or is it just like I've always tried to like narrow it down to where like I blame it on the haircut or something, but is it really like they're just an attractive man and you're not trying to accept the fact that you're saying another dude is attractive? Because it's probably okay to say. It's kind of like being married and saying that other girl, like, she's a really pretty woman.
Yeah, you just
but
don't
I'm not
act
saying I
on
want to bang them. I'm just like,
you're just appreciating
that's fucking good looking
how they look. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's more of like and us as, we're fucking all animals, dogs,
yeah,
whatever. We're not actually fucking them, but like humans are
Might
animals.
be.
I mean, you never know. But I mean, I think it's a natural instinct to know, as long as you're not doing it all the time, like at Walmart and shit, like aisle 14, like that's a fucking good looking dude right there, because you're probably not going to find it. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. If you're going to Walmart looking for your next date, it probably ain't going to be attractive.
That ain't it.
Is that common with other people? And this is kind of like the feedback I want to know. Like, is that a common thing with other people, or is that like...
I think so, because you can look at a dude, you can look at a chick and be like, oh, yeah, that's just an attractive person. Like, you appreciate, the way they've kept up with themselves, the way they do their hair. They don't look like a slobby mess.
Right.
That's fine, but as long as you don't go act on them actions, like you ain't going home like beating your shit to fucking, oh, that dude at Walmart was so good looking.
Aisle 14, take a picture like, I'm going to save this for later, big boy.
Yeah, if your fucking screen's in there with dude on it.
Why don't you grab that Toy Story doll one more time? Yeah, all right.
Oops, sir, I dropped this.
Then his parents fucking scarf him up and fucking run him out the door. You know, people look at you weird when you do that kind of stuff. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I go butt naked to the stores, I get looked at weird too.
I was in there one time, long time ago, trying on girls' panties. Right there in the fucking middle of the girls' section. I just want to see how they felt. And they were pretty silky smooth.
It's 2025. You're allowed to do that now.
I mean, now, yeah.
Yeah,
We're talking like back in like 2008.
Oh, yeah.
07, you know what I mean? Like,
That was when the country was
come
still
on.
good.
And there were so many people looking, I was about to start charging them like $1 a piece. Like, you want to keep fucking looking.
I know.
Like,
It's $1 a minute at this
come on
point.
now. Come on now.
You can look, but you can't touch.
I mean, back then they all frowned upon it. Now it's like, oh my God.
Be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah. It's bullshit. You know, sometimes it's nice to change.
All right, so I want to end this show almost the same way we started it with Uncle Chuckles.
Yeah.
So you remember Tim, Tina, him, her, trans monkey?
On the island, stranded.
Yeah, you got
Bring
three things to bring along.
Got 3 things to bring along.
So I want to close the show with asking you. Now, you are on that island with Tim, Tina. It can't be a sword, a gun, any kind of weapon.
Yeah.
You get 3 objects. You have to fight Tim, Tina to get off of that island. What 3 objects are you bringing and why? Like I said, can't be a gun, can't be a knife, can't be a sword. It's got to be 3
fight Tim Tina to get off that island.
And Tim Tina is pissed. He's on week 3 of his testosterone
All right,
boosters.
So, number 1 thing I'm going to bring is a flashlight. And I'm going to need a big one.
You go hit him with that PNC, that post-nut clarity.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, you know, probably like on an island, he's real hungry for something, you know, you strap that fucker up to a tree or use some vines or whatever to tie it up there, he's going to see it and just go up like a tractor beam, fucking just start.
Yeah, I can see it.
Then when they get that post-nut clarity, you know, I think I'm going to ravel them up in extension cords. Handcuff, hog tie, whatever I got to do.
I like it.
I can't hog tie his hog, but I can hog tie him, her.
You're going to need about 100 foot of extension cord.
Yeah, and I'm just going to stick to my roots on this one, and I'm going to bring my dad waters.
Still bringing a dad water.
I'm still bringing my dad waters. I am not, like, if I'm going into a fight, I'm not going in that fucking thing sober. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be thinking right. I'm not going to place my objects right.
I like it.
And I might, like, miss a knot or something, you know? So I got to get myself right, checked in, get the juices rolling. Okay, because you know Tim Tina's going to be coming out of there.
Dude, he's going to be a hammer.
Bansh.
Like I said, he's on week 3
like a banshee
of his testosterone.
So I'm bringing a big old flashlight, jumper cables to hog tie, not his hog, or maybe I could hog tie the hog. Then I wouldn't be afraid of it. And I'm bringing my dad waters.
So dad water, hog ties, and
Flashlight.
a flashlight.
Yeah. What about you now?
Oh, man.
So this is pretty much ripping your whole arsenal from the last show, like, out.
Yeah, so I can't use anything from mine.
No. Really, you can't.
I'm going to personally bring Donald Trump. That is the trans biggest fear.
Gotta have
so
it.
he'd be so scared he can't come around.
Yeah, but I think, like, now it's, like, the most famed, praised person.
Oh, yeah.
Tina might have, like, a major fucking, I want that.
By the end of that, Tim Tina will be voting red, baby.
You use him as bait?
Yeah, I'm going to bring Don. Bring the Don.
Let me some big Don.
Man, my second object would have to be... I know y'all ain't gonna... You gotta hear me out. I'm bringing a choosy.
You're gonna bring a fucking choosy?
I'm gonna bring a choosy. Because I can, you know, that little bottom compartment, I can stuff a lot of stuff in there. I'm gonna bring the choosy along.
So what if you had to fucking, like, buy a brand new choosy and, like, not stuff it full of shit?
Alright, I'm not bringing a choosy.
No, you already said you were bringing a choosy. You can't do that on what you said. I didn't go back on none of my shit on what I said. So you're bringing a choosy and you want to stuff the bottom of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
So it's like your own personal choosy.
Yeah, I'm bringing a choosy. My choosy.
Fucking get you some podcast, redneck reviews,
Yeah.
like Hank and Stank stuff. Okay, so it's your custom fucking choosy out of your fucking dresser drawer.
Yeah.
Or wherever you keep it, in a cabinet. God knows where you keep shit like that.
You actually keep your flashlight in it, too. That little rubber suction cup on the top and get you some.
I never thought about that.
And then my last and final object would probably have to be some Colgate.
You gonna try to jerk Tim Tina off of Colgate and make it burn? Make it burn.
I'm gonna get him good with it one time. And that's gonna pretty much sum up the second
that's
episode of the Get You Some podcast. And like we always say, y'all know